Multi-channel, multi-environment, multi-learning. Of course, it drives us insane if we see one of our kids in class using a BlackBerry when we're trying to teach. Okay, so will you turn your BlackBerries off and your mobile phones and all the other stuff? But the fact is, they're in a different world. They're used to multi-tracking. But then so are you. Who here has been on the phone while doing an email? Come on, confess now. Okay, you're on the phone. Clickety-click, clickety-click. They can hear you if they're... That's the trouble with video phones. It's the ultimate reality check. All right. Okay. Now, how do we measure future educational performance? I think that is a challenge because we've not yet worked out the real value of what it is we're supposed to be teaching, which I've shown with the Google issue. Books, I do believe, have a future. I believe in them. And one of the reasons for that is something fundamental to teaching, and it's a big problem for you. When you're listening to me at the moment, you're using your ears, which have 112K bandwidth. That's the maximum data that you can get down that pipe, if you know about broadband, okay? It's narrow band. But it's true. That's why, even though I'm English and you are American, we use the same language, but if I go much faster than 140 words per minute, I dissolve into incoherent babble. Because I can understand what I'm saying, but you can't decode it. Your maximum decode is about 120 words per minute, right? But if you're reading a big report, if you've picked up a copy of the Wall Street Journal, you know what? You can scan that at 5,000 to 10,000 words a minute because you have got up to 3 terabits of data going into your optic nerve. That's amazing. So what it means is that what's visually there has a fantastic more efficiency than anything else. And it's the reason why books work. Because you can scan a book, the text, you can scan at about 5,000 words per minute. My books are made to be read in about 20 minutes. Please don't spend any longer than that. Please, please. Because life's too short. You know, I'll tell you how to start. You start in the middle, you work front and back, okay? That's how to do it. And if you get stuck, read the conclusion, like he did. Okay. See, I didn't make it to be read from the beginning. It never actually occurred to me that anybody would. Because I always cheat when I read. But the fact is, that's another skill which we're teaching people, which is to scan text, right? The days of reading text from the beginning to end are over. History, gone, last century. The days of being able to dip in and out of high resolution stuff, yes. So being able to manage a big newspaper. Again, another exam test, I would say. You throw down the newspaper, you give them a copy of the Wall Street Journal, and they have less than 8 minutes to read the whole thing. Absolute maximum. In fact, I prefer to give them 3. That's it. And then the test comes, and we see what they've learned. Because the whole idea about rich scanning is you know what you don't know. See, I know what... Oh, yeah, there was an article about more things on the Nile Delta, but I didn't read too much... In Nigeria. I didn't read too much about it. I just read the headline and 3 or 4 words. I knew what I didn't know. I knew there was a huge story. It was on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. I knew there'd been a big blast down there, and it was getting worse, and the president was about to make a speech about it. That's all. But that's enough for me to answer my 3-minute quiz. And it's being able to scan, and scanning is easier on printed stuff than it is online. And that's why books will survive, paper survives.